I'm literally almost done.
I'm so sorry. I was like trying to find a place to tell you as I got 2 minutes, and I was like, not giving me any
No,
anything I
I
could
saw you
stop
do
you
that.
at.
I
I'm so
understand.
sorry. No, I just couldn't.
No. It's literally done in less than 2 minutes. I'm like,
Sorry. I
I,
just gotta tell her.
I there's, obviously this is obviously it's a lot of books that were written about all this, and there's so much
No, it's
more to say.
awesome. Thank you.
But
Just wait.
we
Wait. Everyone was on your wagon. Just wait 2
Oh,
minutes.
good. Uri's on. Okay, good.
We're
Uri's about to
coming.
see you on Facebook. We just need, so just Panina and Leora. I sent them direct messages.
I apologize,
No,
but
why you?
we're literally
no.
done.
Are you upset? It's
You don't
quarantine.
have to
We got
apologize.
big plans.
I'm apologize. Yeah, I apologize.
We got wash dishes.
you.
Cook for Shabbos.
Cook for Shabbos.
Yeah, because we're so busy during the day with running around.
Hey, I
going
am.
to work.
I work a full
Oh my
day.
God,
Y'all
it's
live
such
life.
a crazy day. You're also,
I have
I mean,
teletherapy, so it's
so
hard.
are you doing that, Leora? That's cool.
Yeah,
That
I
is
see
cool.
25 kids.
A day?
25 kids. Each of them get therapy at least twice a week. Some of them get 3 or 4.
Wow.
And I see, yeah, it's a bit 8:30 to like 3:35 o'clock straight.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
have
no,
to put a little sign saying I have to use the restroom. Please don't
that's
sign off.
so funny. No,
But it's good, honestly. Baruch Hashem.
No, it's great if you can be working from home. It's great. It's Leora's house. Hi, Leora's house.
This is my house.
Oh my God. Oh, there's Panina. Okay, so it's just Leora in LA. Is she coming back? Leora.
Okay, we could. I don't want to,
Just Leora, but yeah, you know what? It's okay. Yeah, I guess so. Go. You're good to go.
So just summing up the thing with King David is that it's that he was the outcast of the family. In fact, a lot of he was a complete people thought that he maybe wasn't even Jewish, because it said a Moabite can never convert, but then they learned that it's a Moabite in male Moabite, not a female. The whole point is his entire Judaism was challenged, and so how could this guy be the king? The point is, and there's so many other examples, that the greatest people in our nation, even if you want to go to Moshe and Avraham, I mean, one was basically raised as an Egyptian, the other one came from a house with idolatry. Some of the greatest people in our nation in history are people that didn't have the most pure background, but what they did eventually is and towards the end of their lives is what dictated their legacy and why we look up to them until today. And if that happened in the last 3,500 years in Judaism, I don't see why we need to stop in the past 100 years and forget about that. Just going back a minute just to the Talmud, it's very interesting because Reish Lakish, for instance, who was considered a more superior rabbi than Rav Yehuda in the time, because he preceded him, so he in a way has more of halachic say. He specifically says that that he hates the people of Babylonia because they don't make aliyah, and the whole reason of why we weren't fully redeemed is because during the days of Ezra and Nehemiah, after Jews were allowed to go back to the land of Israel after the destruction of the first temple, after the 70-year exile, all those because so many people stayed in Babylonia, that's the reason why we weren't fully redeemed already then, and why Messiah didn't come then. So you see that the reasons go on and on. Everything I mentioned has been expressed by literally countless of rabbis, scholars, if you want, from the days of the Mishnah until our days. And if you want to go back to the Torah and Mishnaic interpretations, there are countless sayings that you shouldn't leave the land of Israel. And then again, we also see some rabbis saying, you know what, you can't leave Israel to other countries, but the same way that you can't leave Babylonia for other countries. Basically, Israel's centrality is still main, but if you're not in the land of Israel, you shouldn't leave, and you're in Babylonia, you shouldn't leave Babylonia to other places, basically saying, pick between Israel and Babylonia. Why? Because at least you'll get the Torah scholarship there, and not go completely to a desolate area from a Jewish point of view. I would like to conclude, and again, this is no end of this topic. There's so many more quotes and ideas that are written in the Talmud itself, and books and libraries that were written about this whole argument. I have here, I also studied this in high school, by the way. I have here a famous letter that Rabbi Kook wrote in 1904 to kibbutz Dgania, the first kibbutz in Zionist history in the land of Israel, that was established in Israel up north. And he writes as follows. He says he has a shaila come to him, asking him, what should be our stance with this new kibbutz, right there? And he quotes the letter that he got, and hopefully I'll find it, but if not, I remember the gist of it. And he says, you're asking me about these new Jewish settlers who are keeping non-kosher, desecrate Shabbos, don't keep purity of family, and you're asking me and advocating against them, saying that how terrible they are and how they should be, it should be frowned upon and better that they never came, and what damage they're creating. And Rabbi Kook, in a very famous response, writes the following, and he says, based on everything you said, I'm telling you that not only that it's good that these people came, but they came to conduct such a big mitzvah, a mitzvah that we can't even imagine its importance. They're going to a place with swamps, it's completely desolate, and working the land of Israel from nothing. And the choices that they made away from their families, they gave so much up, sacrificed so much just to inhabit and to build the land of Israel. And he then equates them, he equates them to angels, that just like it says in ancient sources, a person can't even stand next to them because they're so holy. This goes hand in hand with the way Rav Kook, a stark Zionist, looked at Jewish people and Zionism throughout his life. But that's just a small example of how we could choose to look at the bad, and we could choose to look at the good. Unfortunately, and we see this in demonstrations, just like I started, we see Satmar Hasidim, and they're even within Satmar Hasidim, there are even more extreme sects that are actively so active against land of Israel, state of Israel, that that even they go to meet, as I said, with the former president of Iran. They're so anti that anything the land of the state of Israel says, even against coronavirus, they violate, because we cannot listen to anything the state says. And so we, as anything in life, in our course of life, we could choose to always see the bad. But I think, not just from a theological point of view or a historical point of view, the as we outlined earlier, and I think that's compelling enough, but just from a way to live life and a philosophy for life, the way of looking at the positive is really the way that should be the north and star that guides us as Jewish people. And it's funny how I say Hallel and Yom Ha'atzmaut with the bracha, and some Zionists even they say, look, we celebrate, but we won't say it with the bracha because it's controversial. The idea behind it, there's a famous Talmud, and I'm going to finish with this, that says that if you fell from a donkey and you didn't hurt yourself, or you didn't get wounded severely, then it's a mitzvah that if you pass by that place a year later, you have to say a bracha, b'shem u'b'malchut, not just Baruch Atah Hashem, with the actual bracha, Yud Kei Vav Kei, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam she'asa li nes b'makom hazeh. Blessing God that He has created and gave you a miracle that saved you in this specific place. And if we follow that logic, then the state of Israel did so much more than just saving a couple Jews from being wounded. They saved countless amounts of lives, of, I think, securing the Holocaust can't happen again. Ironically, even if we want to go on an ultra-Orthodox rant, or just an Orthodox rant, there was never in the history of Judaism, I'm not talking now about the desert, and that's also things that are more in Agada. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I'm talking about scholarship in a time where we don't have Moses. There was never in the history of Israel, of our nation, as Jews, there was never so many yeshivot, so many Talmidei Chachamim as currently in Israel. In fact, the Rambam specifically says that is redemption. It's not just a thing that third temple will be rebuilt or that Messiah will come. Part of it is the actual reality, perhaps not in a seen miracle way, that is part of redemption itself. As Ben Gurion said, perhaps another heretic that the Rebbe from Satmar would consider, he says, a Jew that doesn't believe in miracles is not a realist. And we, or at least I'll say myself, and I believe all you Jews that do believe in miracles, the state of Israel is a true miracle, not only from its foundation, but throughout the 72 last years and everything that happened in those years. And that is why it's a kal v'chomer. It's simple why when Yom Ha'atzmaut comes, you could say Hallel b'shem u'b'malchut. And please God, we will be zoche to the ultimate redemption with the coming of Mashiach in speedy days. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Hillel. We have to give you 2 hours minimum.
Thank you.
I apologize, but this is
No,
really
no. That was like a compliment, and that was also because we should give you 2 hours, or 3.
Great topic.
Nina. Oh, Uri, you want to say something?
Oh, I'm saying it's a great topic. There's a lot of lot to say on it. So thank you.
Oh, my
Thanks
pleasure.
for the tech
And-
support, Tamar.
Oh,
And-
trying. Thank you. Thank you for being on. Panina, if she's still there. Otherwise,
Sure.
oh, but you want to do, unfortunately, we don't have much time, but do you want to do the list and then,
Sure. So thank you, Hillel, for the wonderful shir. We're kind of minimizing the list a little bit. But the shir was for the refuah shalema of everyone that is not feeling well and going through this difficult time. We have Gimpel Mordechai, Daniel ben Sarah Ita, Rabbi Shalom Dovner ben Rachel Bela, Abraham Chai ben Sarah Shandel, Baruch Shmuel ben Chaya Sarah, Miriam Rachel bat Tal, Shimon ben Dada, Avraham Yitzchak ben Chana, Eliezer Yehuda ben Chaya, Yosef Libush ben Chaya Sprinta, Chaya bat Fega, Gedalia ben Helena, Yocheved Avia bas Shifra Chaya, Harav Aryeh Lib ben Chaya Sarah, Miriam Basara, Esther Yita bat Figadina, Yaakov ben Chava Adina, Shoshana Panina bat Esther, Yitzchal Elchan Nun ben Rivka Table, Razel bat Malia, and Shmuel ben Miriam.
unfortunately, I'm Amen. Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Anyone else want to say anything? Otherwise, I will close the meeting and we'll see about the share for next week. So
You're also more than welcome to approach individually if you have any questions after we are off. Feel free.
Hillel is always available.
Hillel, do you want to play Rummy Cup?
Yeah, let's do that. But like
Anyone
on Sunday
else?
night or something.
No, there's a really fun app.
You're so
I didn't even
hungry.
eat dinner yet.
Oh,
but we
go
definitely
eat
should.
something. Go eat something.
Hillel, not that you need it because you're so skinny, but it's not healthy to eat at 9:40 p.m.
Yeah, I know.
And then we have
Can you have a
encourage
box of
them.
Wacky
I
Mac
look
for me?
skinnier with all this. I need to get a haircut, but no one would take me now.
I wish I was Hillel and can eat 10 boxes of Wacky Mac and nothing would happen. You know,
Oh, I love Wacky
my
Mac.
What
dream.
are you talking
Oh my
about?
God, I feel like I have to
Wacky
stop the
Mac is
recording,
the
guys.
best.
I'm stopping the
Oh.
recording.
Yeah,
We're
seriously. let's
stopping
stop
the
the
recording.
recording.
This is important Torah material.